England and Israel. Here's England head coach Ryan Garnsworthy. 3 times he represented his native Australia at the World Championships. Now he makes his home in England after beating his wife Hayley and moving there. Seth Mahler, Israel head coach. He is a native of Connecticut. He's been living in Israel since the organization's inception 12 years ago. Played on their field and box men's national teams as well since 2012. Walter van der Host of the Netherlands will do the honors as our lead official. Oran Goldman, face-off man from Netanya, probably the best face-off man in the country. Procedure called against Daniel Madeley of England. Madeley hung in there well in their last game against Canada 2 days ago, 13-1. So Israel will look for the clear, and then to try to establish some offensive rhythm and to try to take another step forward. Benjamin Friedman of Newton, Massachusetts, a co-captain, gets the start. He moved to Israel for a gap year in 2020, 2021, and he'll be a sophomore at Tufts. So on the attack, Itai Habaro of Beersheva in Israel with Ivitar Barnoy, Ido Bar David on the attack. Shlomo Trojano with Ronan Abramovich and Joey Kraft will run the first midfield. Abramovich to his strong left hand, and the save is made. Easy stop for Sam Rogerson. England will begin the clear. Oliver Lee with Alexander Davidson. Tom Whitehead, the close D today. And we'll see the long pole again. Jacob Brindle solidifying that spot. England on the attack with Daniel Hilditch, Drew Bickerton, Will Goodwin starting up front. Sam Mottershead with Hugo Peel and Will Shirt, the first midfield. Here is the 16-year-old Hugo Peel, perhaps the youngest player in the tournament. The Czech Republic also has a 16-year-old playing on the attack. And what a wonderful step it is to see these young talents that look like they fit in. The cut from Will Shirt, save made low. That's Friedman. Ground ball, Israel out of the corner. Greg Wells out of Central New York, Manlius, New York. He'll be a junior at Tufts. Israel has done a great job in pulling players in to do their birthright year, along with contributing to the growth of the sport, training full-time, working with the national team, growing the game. Benjamin Friedman. Friedman making the pass. This one down to the crease. He was looking for Habaro, and Rogerson able to prevent that from carrying through. Sam Mottershead. Daniel Hilditch thought about shooting. Friedman was about to get back into goal. For England, their closest game in Pool A play, an 8-3 loss to Australia, where they led that game 3-1 after the first quarter. Things were lined up very well for them to finish in the top 4. But the Pool A teams are guaranteed a spot in the championship bracket, regardless of who might go over. Hilditch. Peel takes a jab, backs away from the aggressive Greg Wells. Wells' last year, he was the full-time starter at close D for Tufts, reaching a Division III national semifinal. Peel rolls back, got a good look. It's great to visit and chat with Hugo Peel after the game 2 nights ago. He fell in love with the sport of lacrosse at a young age, at the age of 6. Also has ran track. Hugo also a county tennis champion at the age of 12 before devoting himself to lacrosse at a greater scale. Hilditch, in that high crease area, Drew Bickerton doesn't panic. So Israel opening up here in a zone look. Will Goodwin. Peel. The help was waiting. Peel then lobbing it down, looking for the crease. That would have been Hilditch. England recovers. Shirt, here's an early keep it in. Bickerton. This is not a man up for England. And a nice stick check. Fine defending as a team. That's Joey Kraft as the short stick D-midi. Very subtly gambled a little bit, and it was the right decision. He got his stick in there as the help defender. So the turnover caused. As Israel clears. Israel lost 11-3 to Puerto Rico in the opener, 10-3 to Japan, 11-4 yesterday to the Czech Republic. And in the 2 years since, Israel greatly affected in terms of roster. They have a lot of players that were drafted to the Israeli army. Remember, you have to do a 3-year commitment. Now there are some exemptions that are made, but generally you're putting in 3 consecutive years. So Israel adding new players, but they have players that played in the first ever European Under-20 Championship, and they're 2 indoor senior national teams. So it's offsides against England. So as they chase the ball, Daniel Flisk will serve the foul, and an opportunity here for Israel. And offensively, just 10 goals. It's been the issue in talking to the coaching staff. The offensive coordinator, Mike Horowitz, former goalie at Muhlenberg College. This shot for Kraft, that's blocked. That's Oliver Lee with that range, getting his stick in there. Brindle, the pressure on Kraft. It'll stay with the Israelis. Final 10 seconds on the 32nd man up, the first of the game. Abramovich. Rogerson able to come up with the save. That shot by Ido Bar-David through some traffic. Israel has 5 players back from the 2019 European Lacrosse Championship. But ahead of this, in May, they spent about a month and a half to 2 months consistently playing together as a team in the IPLL, the Israeli Premier Lacrosse League. Scoreless midway through the opening quarter. Here's Oliver Alsop for the first time. Nathan Wilkinson. Hilditch fires the jump shot, and Friedman, no problem with it. If it was possible to break a sweat in these cold conditions, he would have. Game time temperatures in the mid-50s with a steady wind. Fortunately, no precipitation or threat of lightning. That was a theme yesterday that delayed games, as Israel fails on the clear. So a pass through the stick of D-midi Zachariah Jury. Timeout England, so Ryan Garnsworthy and his staff to talk about how to manipulate this zone with offensive coordinator Mikey Armstrong. 6:04 left England last time out on Sunday, losing to Canada. Their lone goal was the first goal of the tournament for Edward Loveland. Nice moment for him off of this ball movement to spoil the shutout. Loveland inside on the crease, just graduated from university, pursuing his master's through the Timperley Lacrosse Club. And England avoided the 0 there. And now they look for their first victory today. And in that process, continuing to make strides in terms of commitment to lacrosse ever since the fall of 2020, October that year. And perhaps England, if you stacked all the teams together, they probably have spent the most time together than anybody else, regardless of Pool A down to Pool E. Israel continues to show zone, so they don't throw a change up. Loveland shoots, and that's off the pipe and in. On cue after his highlight, Edward Loveland breaks the seal of this one. 1-0 England. So he is able to get into the painted area. Scored 6 goals, 3 assists 3 years ago. And they expected him to make this team two-way midfielder, and England is loaded in that category. Daniel Madeley. Hilditch did not have an angle, then tried to skip it, but Peel was in too deep. Ball on the ground though, cause turnover. Nathan Wilkinson has it, but he is chased by Ethan Dick Turrell out of Tenafly, New Jersey, a high schooler, class of 2023. That has also come up through the Israeli system, spending summers there through the U15 national team. Israel has teams established down to U13, and I imagine they're probably not too far away from U12, U11. The hit applied on Ronel Yefrak as he looked to transition, and this will be a push with possession, and the second man up for Israel. Time served by Sam Mottershead. Into the high slotted area, on time with the pass, Ivitar Barnoy. The goal on man up, and Israel executes beautifully. 1-1. Great, well-timed cut. I think the flip needs some work, but they're happy with the goal. Barnoy ties it at 1. His first goal of this tournament. Madeley wins it clean from Goldman. Peel, nice pickup off this natural grass surface. Israel remains in a 3-3 zone. Peel tries the left hand, off target from Benjamin Friedman. Friedman was the starting goalie as well in the European U20 Championships that took place in Prague, Czech Republic. Shirt drew help, then was expecting the cut from Mothershead, and England turns it over. So credit Israel and what they've done, getting into passing lanes and anticipating well. Defensive coordinator Ian Kaddish, been a member of the men's national team since 2016. And he started at Amherst College. And the other way as this one pops high in the air as Rogerson made the stop. Final seconds here. England trying to push. And we get whistles all over. There was a timeout granted to Israel. The question was, where was the ball? Let's see if they give Israel the ball. Meanwhile, Ronan Abramovich on track to be on the senior national team in Israel. He is a member of the Israeli army in intelligence. He is able to manage both training for lacrosse and being a member of the military, on track to a prestigious position. There was his goal against Puerto Rico. This time rejecting the screen. Nice job weaving in and around the defenders. And Abramovich provides something different as a lefty midfielder. And can Israel get him some more looks? They've spent a lot of time defensively in this opening quarter. We'll see if they get the ball here for short time and who will orchestrate. Israel maintaining that, I think it was their possession. It is England ball, and the Israeli coaching staff wondering what's going on. Now our box official will blow this play dead, and I think our officials have to get on the same page here. There wasn't really an exact signal after that in all that commotion. They blew the play dead 3 times and have left us guessing. So let's see what they'll come up with. Seth Mahler was granted a timeout, expecting it to be his ball. Well, you can understand the Israeli coaching staff is upset that it wasn't clear what happened upon the whistle. Their team came to the sideline expecting to have a possession. So England will have it, and Israel loses a timeout there that they're not going to get back. So England trying to race ahead. Daniel Flisk. Flisk, an engineering major. Edward Loveland. Final seconds, got it to the crease. Would have been a decent look for Drew Bickerton. Now that is sent all the way to the other end by Friedman and captured by Rogerson to close out the first quarter. Israel's zone has thrown a wrench into things. England has been held to 1 goal. We are tied at 1 from this first round of the championship bracket at the Men's Under-21 World Championship on ESPN+.
Position to shoot right in front of that goal cage.
Hang on to that lead the entire second half. Beautiful shot again.
Just happy to be a part of it right now for all the younger generations and hopefully pave the way for them so little girls younger than me can become Olympians.
Slower paced game as we start the second quarter here from Limerick, Ireland. The winner of this game will advance to take on the Haudenosaunee out of Pool A, who finished as the 4 seed. Some commotion on the faceoff, but then Drew Bickerton comes in and swipes it. However, he couldn't control it. Daniel Madeley, and it's back to where it started. England wins a rough and tough scrap. Madeley would know a little bit of that. The story that I have been searching for, well, there's two great soccer connections with this English team. Daniel Madeley once played for Manchester City's under-10 team, and that is by invite-only academy. So I can imagine some of the memories he has from that, but particularly his parents, about the players that perhaps were at the academy level at Manchester City Soccer around that same time. And similar story, Will Shirt was a junior level soccer player, not academy, but playing at the next level below that. Number 11 in whites before choosing lacrosse around the age of 12, and similar for Madeley. And that kind of story is what England needs just to happen just a little bit more of as they continue to build. Will Goodwin shot high to high, no problem for Friedman. And in a soccer-crazed country, they just need a larger slice of the pie. We've seen tremendous growth on the women's side under coach Phil Collier, one-time coach of the England senior men's national team as well. He himself grew up playing cricket before falling in love with lacrosse. England finishing third this year, defeating Australia for the bronze medal last month at Towson, Maryland. And that England team is nearly entirely homegrown. Bickerton, really a well-timed swipe. Off the dodge, Trojano turned it over in traffic. Then that pass intercepted. Chance for Joey Kraft. And then Kraft takes it into traffic, multiple flags out, and Israel will go man up again, and maybe for a while. 4 flags down from 3 officials on this end. So we got a 1-minute slash, a second slash, two separate 1-minute penalties against England's Alexander Davidson. What a chance here for Israel to settle in. Because it is a continuous clock, in this case, this benefits the defense. If you were to score early, you still might have 90 seconds or so left on it, but the time between the goal celebration, the face-off taking place, that chews up an easy minute there. Good cut, Abramovich, good look. Tried to pound that into the grass and perhaps did not get the bounce that he was expecting. So off the end line, Habaro will leave it for Abramovich. Kraft sweeping up top, now to the wing, Abramovich. Rogers to the save. As he pinned it down, the call will go against Israel. Interference for reaching in there, Ivitar Barnoy. So he's got to head off, so this is going to affect the man up. So the 5-on-5 here for 25. Hilditch will pick it up. Hilditch will take the quick shots. Back up for England. England might have a few seconds of man up. So Lee's 2 fouls are over. And a goal. Hilditch. This will count as a man up. England is in front. Great face dodge by Hilditch, and then to keep it with his left hand. Been impressed with his shooting. Ryan Garnsworthy calls him a dynamic dodger. And you can bold and underline that. His 4th of the tournament through the Stockport Lacrosse Club. Procedure against Goldman. Shirt fires, it never got through. Off the pickup, Drew Bickerton. Turns it back for Shirt and then Peel. Israel can settle back into their zone. A man-up goal is the difference. England now out shooting Israel 9-8. That from the outside. No backup or anybody back there to scoop it. It belongs to Friedman. So Mottershead forcing it. So as Friedman ranged over to pick it up, 4 saves apiece. Benjamin Friedman, during his gap year, was coaching youth players, and he took a lot out of it. The coaching staff felt that he got better as a goalie, becoming a true student of the position and the game. The adage is, you learn as you teach. Perhaps very true for Benjamin Friedman. Abramovich here for Itai Habaro. Kraft trying to get around Shirt. He does. Rogerson the save. Joey Kraft leads Israel in goal scoring for this tournament with 4 goals. He'll be a sophomore at Tufts next year. Played in 5 games this past spring. There was room there to shoot, backing it off. Simpson Pink to the crease. It comes for Bickerton. Fought off by Friedman, and he has backup. Well, the first shot by Simpson Pink might have been the better look. Kraft, look out, Davidson behind him. Davidson hacks away. No goal, whistle before the play. A timeout granted to Israel. So that takes a potential goal away from Barnoy. And Israel to regroup. They've pushed this game to 2-1, 6 minutes remaining, second quarter. And for England, they have not been able to get the high quality shots you hope to get against the zone. They've gotten a dodge from up top from Loveland, and then a man-up goal from Daniel Hilditch. Here was his last save by Sam Rogerson, his best of the game. Rogerson started against the U.S., 6 saves there. Last game, Jack Allen, fine performance for England against Canada, making 13 saves on Sunday. He looked really good, only 18 years old. He attended high school in the U.S., spending about 4 years there in the Ohio region. And I think a constant theme at this championship, and now we're into the medal round, is that there is just great goaltending depth across the world. You look around these countries and the backups are solid. They're not hiding backup goalies. Just saw the Czech Republic goalie, Josef Slavik, and he kept the Czechs very much in that game. Abramovich out of the timeout, that Israel has possession. And then his feed for Habaro. A flag is out, and England is going in the box again. And a second flag coming out. Or are we going to get some unsportsmanlike conduct following? Indeed, unsportsmanlike conduct to follow the 1-minute slash on Joshua Polk. So that's a frustration call against him. So Israel with their second 2-minute man up. Last time they got 1 shot. And then England ending up scoring at the back end of it, getting a mini man up out of it. Abramovich, here comes Habaro, looking for the sneak, looked cross cage, out it went Trajano, Shlomo Trajano, Kraft, Trajano was gearing up for a long distance look, swooping in for the ball, England, Daniel Flisk, and Flisk can go. The cut from Bickerton, still a minute left, they'll take the shot from Hilditch. Good calculated thought from Daniel Hilditch, having backup. So Israel still trying to figure it out on the offensive end. And they have to settle for just 1 shot on another 2-minute man up. With the ball dropped by Wilkinson, Peel is there to pick it up. Hilditch looks for the roll back to his strong left hand. Missed short side. Peel, beautiful fake. Then settles and scores! Hugo Peel. He's got his first goal of the tournament. This one very much worth celebrating. That's a stick fake that'll get all of Pool A defenders out of position. 3-1 England. In the club world, where Hugo Peel comes through, Stockport, they put the word out to Ryan Garnsworthy and staff that he should be given a look. After the original tryouts took place in 2019, he's grown up. He's worked very hard. He's got the physicality. And he has not looked out of place this week in Limerick. Peel the other way. So along with Krzysztof Adamiec of the Czech Republic. That's Peel from the outside, consecutive goals. This one he rips from 15 yards on the step down. He loves the game, he loves watching film on himself. And here, the courage to have that earlier stick fake and then decide that shot works for him from 15. Israel has the face-off win from Shalev Tal of Netanya, Israel. England rides him out of bounds. That's good work by Daniel Madeley. England has separated here. Final 70 seconds, first half, to add to this lead. Israel has squandered 4 minutes of man up. They'll feed into the crease. That was Loveland. The pickup from Greg Wells of Israel. As Israel got across offside, Daniel Ufal was looking around, and I'm close enough to the field, no one communicated on field, timeout England. So with time left, they'll add some more time, 16.8 remaining. England could get one more look. But England has finally broken through against the zone, and it took a man up, and then a gorgeous goal from Hugo Peel, and then the zone busting shot from 15 yards up top. And here in this case, we'll see if Israel be settled immediately into a zone or switch to man. This is the third game of the championship bracket into the medal round. 12 teams advancing. Puerto Rico will face Germany next. The winner of that game will take on the United States, the 1 overall seed. And Seth Mahler watches as his defensive coordinator, Ian Cash, goes through how they will handle a likely wing dodge from England. The strength of this Israeli team has been their defense. They've been able to hold Puerto Rico in check. They've prevented the big quarters. But on the offensive end, they've not been able to string together any momentum. Hilditch looks to the crease. Bickerton, tough grab. Now from the outside, Simpson Pink. The whistle stops play dead inside the final 30 seconds of the first 3 quarters. 5 seconds showing here at the field. Then the quick stick attempted by Loveland. Greg Wells runs it out. England gets 3 in the second quarter. They had to work hard for it. They lead Israel 4-1 at halftime, with the winner advancing to tomorrow's quarterfinals of the championship brackets to face the Haudenosaunee. 4-1's our score. We'll come back and show you the highlights from this first half. England looking for their first victory in Limerick. Coming back to show you how it's going on ESPN+.
It's coming. The world is coming to San Diego. 30 nations, 30 teams. Only one will be crowned world champion. There's nothing like playing for your country. This is the pinnacle of sport. Be here as legacies are forged and history is made.
England leading Israel 4-1 at halftime. 3 goals in the second quarter. Ralph Bednarczyk back with you here on ESPN Plus, and let's show you all the goals. The tough work for England, Israel has made them earn it. Here, late first quarter, Edward Loveland able to step into a gap via the dodge, but then a man up for Israel. They are 1 for 4 on man up. Look at this pass, Shlomo Trojano finding Barnoy, and the 17-year-old ties it up at 1. Second quarter, a few seconds of a man up, Hildreth, and then watch this look by Hugo Peel, getting his defender out of position, then finishing low, then the 15-yard step down rip for a 16-year-old. How about that? And a young talent being showcased here and growing with each passing day. 4-1's our halftime score for England, trying to advance to tomorrow's quarterfinals.
Fasten your seatbelt.
The game you've always loved just found a new gear.
Introducing World Lacrosse Sixes.
It's speed and scoring,
Tempo and transition.
athleticism and action.
It's big-time energy packed onto a smaller playing surface.
It's the game you've always loved, brought to you at warp speed.
It's lacrosse on the Autobahn.
Don't blink. This is World Lacrosse Sixes.
All right, so our stats at the half, and for England, 11 of their 16 shots came in the second quarter as they still continue to try to figure out and get into a rhythm against Israel's zone defense. 5 saves apiece, and Madeley and company 5 of 7 facing off. Third quarter coming up. (4-1) England as we start the third quarter, and this game too close for comfort for the English. Israel has had a lot of time. When you total it up, they've had 5 minutes of man up in this game, where Israel is 1 for 4. And England at times has lost discipline. They've picked up, I think it's 4 slashing penalties. And that absolutely affected them when they lost 8-3 to Australia, and that was on Saturday. They had that game going in the right direction. But the man-up opportunities for the Aussies shifted the momentum, and it allowed Australia to find offensive rhythm, even though Australia in that game was only 1 for 4 themselves on man-up. But they started spinning the ball, I think gaining confidence. And that's where you can point to as a big difference maker in that game. Madeley continues to face off. Shalev Tal trying to slow him down for Israel, and it's going to not pay off. England comes up with a ground ball. New goalie on the other end for England. Sam Rogerson making 5 first half saves. Alsup, as he comes on, Hilditch, big shooter, Friedman the save. And the location there, too easy to stop. Simpson Pink, there comes the skip, Wilkinson. And Israel is there for backup. Should England advance, the Haudenosaunee showing that their zone defense absolutely slowed down the Canadians when they met last night. And a whistle, Israel goes off sides. Not a lot of pressure, and they failed to communicate. Loveland, nice stick fake. Wilkinson swims through. Simpson Pink, some congestion in front, and they'll look to reset and space the field. Crease guy has been Bickerton. He has not gotten any looks, and this won't help. Pass off the stick of Wilkinson. They'll call a loose ball push against Israel. Back to England. Wilkinson, that time a little bit deeper. Now down low, there's Bickerton. He touches it off the post, and back to Wilkinson it goes for the goal. 5-1 England. Great reason to celebrate, particularly that pass from up top by Edward Loveland. Wilkinson gets to celebrate the goal. England should celebrate the possession. His first goal of the tournament. He'll be a freshman at Nottingham Trent University next year. And someone that trialed the second time around, picking up lacrosse as a 5th grader. He's through the Sheffield Steelers Lacrosse Club. Hold called this time against Tal, facing off for Israel. Bickerton rolls back. He did not have backup. So England, last couple of trips, have been able to feed their crease guy, whoever it is. Bickerton, known as a good cutter. And the shot's down to 21-9. Mentioning the Bickertons, Dad Andy Bickerton played for Scotland, 2 World Championships in '98 and '94. But their grandfather, particularly of note, Hector Bickerton, played for England via the Cheadle Club and was one of the first head coaches of England back in 1982. The other grandfather was an assistant coach at the 1990 World Championships. And they are both here. Hector Bickerton watching his grandsons Drew and Elliot, also in attendance of note for England. Got a chance to meet and chat with great Tommy Gare. Tommy Gare played for the very first English senior national team in the first World Championships in 1967. He's made the trip from England down to Limerick to watch these games. I'm sure he's watching this one somewhere. Flag is out. Joey Kraft smothered. And here comes the 5th man up for Israel. 1 minute slash against England's Lucas Schuring. And they'll take the quick shot. Save is made by Jack Allen on Hibaro. Daniel Flisk excelling in the clear with his speed. Simpson Pink, still time left on yet another slash. 4th slashing penalty today against England, along with another 1 minute unsportsmanlike. Tommy Gare was telling me he took the very first face-off as well in 1967. It was against Australia in England's first game at the World Championships. Shirt all the way to goal. Through some late afternoon traffic, Will Shirt extends to 6-1. Shirt's second goal of the tournament had scored against the United States. Madeley. Down to the crease it comes, and Friedman was waiting for it. Simpson Pink tried to jam it through him. Kraft searches for a crease guy. He finds him. The handle there from Ido Bar David. (6-2). Kraft with his first assist. Ido has been mentored for a long time now. He's 19 years old by his older brother and assistant coach Ori Bar David. Ido is serving in a combat unit as part of the Israeli army. And they're grown up in Netanya. Netanya, great hosts in 2018 for the Men's Worlds, 2019 Euros. And perhaps that exposure to lacrosse is going to have a lasting memory and impact on multiple generations. Bickerton found the crease bed, Hilditch, sprawling save, Friedman in the crease. Flag is out, and here's some extracurricular. Players having to be separated. That's Greg Wells being restrained from Israel. Let's allow our officials to sort this out. So a stoppage here with about 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. There was an initial flag coming out. Well, officials are going to need to take their time to sort through this. There was at least 3 flags down, and there could be multiple players. The last thing you want to do is get thrown out of a game here and have it affect you the next day. So the two teams await. Israel hoping they come out on the right side of this and get a man up out of it.
Okay, we have simultaneous fouls. Please sit down. Blue, 2, 3. Unsportsmanlike conduct, 2 minutes.
2 minute unsportsmanlike on Wells.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, 1 minute. White, in home.
1 minute unsportsmanlike on Flisk.
It's going to be white ball, foul 1. Okay?
So England is going to keep possession. First of all, great save again by Friedman. Hilditch in tight, trying to bounce it through. And that's Wells in the middle of it. And then some conversation from 10, Edward Loveland. So Wells gets 2 minutes, so I believe this is going to add up to a 30-second England man up. Let's see. Well, then they got the second foul in home, and we have a 5-on-4. So 5-on-4, Israel being man up. And then England is going to get to a man up for a short period. So here comes Alsop. So now we're 5-on-5. To goal, Simpson Pink. The cut from Hilditch. Never got his hands free. Another flag is out. And an illegal body check now against Israel's Daniel Yufa. So England, and it occurs at the perfect time as Loveland steps on the field, 6-on-4 for nearly a full minute. Loveland, though, drops it. Israel pressures way out by Dick Terrell. Simpson Pink, Hilditch. He gets his vengeance. He gets another look from the same spot. 2 goals for Daniel Hilditch. And now a good timeout here by Ryan Garnsworthy. This stops the wasted time during the continuous clock. So it's 7-2. And our clock showing 27 seconds remaining on a 2-man advantage. So Madeley will be able to face off likely 3-on-1 here. Yes, it will be 3-on-1 here. And they'll be able to give themselves another goal and perhaps create the final separation that they'll need to put away Israel today. We were tied at 1 at the end of the first, 4-1 at halftime, but that's not because Israel didn't get chances. They went into the half 1 for 4 on man up with 5 minutes of man up time that they couldn't take advantage of. Shot selection and some turnovers in the midst of that. Now England has opened it up here, having a half to discuss it. Wilkinson, Shirt, sandwiched in by a Bar David goal of Israel to make it 6-2. And then Hilditch getting his second of the day. So the face-off with the pole and Dick Terrell, and he's able to at least shove it ahead. And he gets back in the hole and to get into the 2-man down box. Final seconds, Mothershead, Alsop. 2 seconds, 1 second, just as it expired. Loveland is there on the crease. England able to work it around until the final precious seconds of that 2-man up. So the timeout pays off. Hilditch with the feed inside. Loveland with a pair, consecutive goals in the man up for England. Madeley back to all even. England continues to have the ball. Beldich wants another. And Friedman this time to the stick side, getting over there to the corner. Friedman able to connect on the clearing pass with Trojano. This one, it comes out in front, and Allen the stop. As Israel clogs up midfield, flag is out, and England going in the box again. Well, for England, it's an unnecessary roughness against Josh Simpson-Pink. And regardless of this final score, England will have to clean it up in their next game against the Haudenosaunee. And the Haudenosaunee, you do not want to give them more space in the field. The Haudenosaunee defeated England the first game of the tournament on Wednesday, 14-3. But England had a good amount of chances there. Ryan Garnsworthy was happy with the volume. They just didn't finish, and the Haudenosaunee, well, they are finishing is in their heritage, in their DNA. Well, maybe not so much that game. Mark Burnham felt they probably should have gotten up to 21 goals. Allen reaches up and anticipates the pass. Snags it beautifully, lobs it up ahead for Bickerton. England not done yet. There's Elliot Bickerton. Works on Alex Kaplan as he takes the shot, and here comes another flag against Israel. A 30-second push with possession. So Kaplan to the box out of northern New Jersey, the town of Mahwah. And that'll run out the clock. So the fourth quarter will begin with England and Israel playing 5-on-5. A penalty-filled third quarter saw England get 4 of the 5 goals. They've separated from Israel in this first round game. 8-2. We're back for the fourth quarter here in Limerick.
Have you booked that trip to Ireland yet?
Press the green button and visit the island of Ireland. See Ireland.com.
8-2 England. They've used penalties and the extra possessions that Daniel Madeley, the face-off ex, has overwhelmingly given them. Face-offs are 11 out of 13 for number 8 and white. A lot of solo wins there. England, though, has committed 8 penalties. Here we have a rare 2-on-2 face-off to begin a quarter. Madeley draws it back. As he went up against the pole, Greg Wells that time. As Israel pressured out, here's Simpson Pink, 4-on-3. Elliot Bickerton, pass behind the cunning Alsop, who was looking for the sneak. And a nice ground ball for Israel. England gets it back. That was a nice pickup by Daniel Yufa from Ashkelon, Israel. Also a member of the Israeli army. After a block shot, I should point out we are all even. It's been a while, I think, since we've had that. Will Shirt steps into the gauntlet. Shirt wanted another taste. Alsop recovers it. Here's Simpson Pink. And a nice shot block by Omer Hazan. Backup defender, quickly coming out off the whistle. Israel was not able to locate and get in front of Will Goodwin. 9-2. His first goal here in Limerick, and a righty attackman that you can see he's also big and strong. England, along with Wilkinson, they have some players that really fit into some spots well. They've not been able to find him much, I think, in this tournament. Room and time to get shots through the Cheadle Lacrosse Club. 4 Cheadle players represented in this team. 5 from Mellor, 4 from Stockport, 3 from Timperley. And the structure of England lacrosse is interesting to note, and doing some more homework on it. There are a total of 3 schools, Durham along with Trent University and the University of Nottingham Trent. Those last 2 schools, by the way, are basically like across the street from each other. But those 3 schools, in essence, act like NCAA programs in the U.S., where they give scholarships and they play in the British University and College Systems Tournament. Durham as well on the women's side consistently is able to bring in Americans who have completed their eligibility and degrees in the U.S., and they'll spend a year playing essentially as a graduate student and graduate assistant coach. Here's Friedman seeing the opening and hits Habaro. Japan is up to about 60 schools that offer college lacrosse there. Abramovich, and the bouncer comes up, and Allen stays with it. Flisk, still plenty of energy. Peel has already hit a shot from that distance. Now as the feed came from the pole, Joshua Polk, who probed ahead, it's turned over. He was looking for an assist. Wells with a flag out. That came out of the box. That's offsides on England. So that's 9 fouls in 50 minutes of action against England. So I'm sure that'll be among the first priorities for Ryan Garnsworthy to address.
No stick, no stick. Just body, stick short.
Kraft, guys, he got it down for Trajano. Another flag out against England. Be another slash coming. Trajano, good look here, and Allen makes a great save on Ido Bar David. With traffic in front, Jack Allen able to see the ball well there. So Israel will go man up for a minute. Tom Whitehead, the guilty party on the slash. To the backside, and that shot blocked. Getting his body in there, Josh Polk. The pickup from Kraft. Kraft continues to circle, and he hits Allen in the chest. And then Allen sprints ahead, finds his outlets. Dangerous spot there. However, fighting off the check of Wells is Simpson Pink. Simpson Pink takes another jab from Kaplan. Flag is out on that. Simpson Pink shooting. And the slash on Alex Kaplan. First slash against Israel. For years they played their 4th game. Their zone has looked pretty good. Hilditch, Elliot Bickerton could not handle the pass. So Friedman is up with it. Still a lot of time left to kill here. Friedman goes ring around the rosy. And Bickerton will back off. And Friedman throws a rope 50 yards. Timeout Israel. So there'll be about 10 seconds left on the man up. Well, the growth of Israel lacrosse founded about in 2010, and talking about the next stage for Israel with the coaching staff and an American like Ian Kaddish, head coach Seth Mahler, they feel like they have truly set up the assembly line. There are various cities in Israel who've now been exposed to lacrosse. They're growing a lacrosse culture, but it's still so new. And they're getting a crop of kids, though, that believe in this sport. They watch it all the time. Of course, the value of the internet. And they're breeding players that love it, that are dedicated, that are balancing their Israeli military commitments. And just being at the World Championship of 2018 in Israel, they did a very good job in getting youth players out there, just the casual fan that gave it a look. And the next, it's going into the schools now and growing the volume. And And you've got to put something on the assembly line. And I thought it was so noteworthy that, as Ian Kaddish described, we've got the system in. That they have a pretty good sense of how to play. And part of what that will do is to load up players on the assembly line. That'll make the homegrown product better on a daily basis. And when they come to these World Championships, box or field, you're seeing players like Jacob Brindle, who is mean and can take the ball away from you and is going to hunt you down as a pole. You don't see that every day in your home country. And then how do you dodge against that? And you gain experience to be prepared for that mentally and physically. And even these experiences that may inspire either more weight training and particularly not being intimidated and how to go about it, as Abramovich takes exception here to a little hit by Davidson. And we'll get another flag down. So Davidson, they get him on the second foul, the slash, after a hold on Israel. So that was Kraft getting called for the hold in the scrum. I did not see that, and it was more obvious on the Davidson foul. Abramovich. And kind of caught in between, shooting and passing, another flag out. Cross check against Brindle. Israel will get nearly a full minute on a 6-on, it should be a 5-on-4, yes. That ball fired into the crease. It never got through. The pickup from Whitehead. We have a broken stick on the field. Whitehead aggressively attacks the clear. How about that from Tom Whitehead? So Israel, nothing to show for another man up. So that is totaling a 1 for 6. Penalty time to Brindle is up. And now England, 6-on-6 with possession in Loveland. Simpson Pink, Hilditch, great spot for him. 3 goals for Daniel Hilditch, and England has gotten to double figures. So England has matched their scoring output from their 4 games in Pool A here against Israel, a Pool B team, with the 10 goals. And Hilditch looks tailor-made to be a zone buster. Madeley Shirt did not have an angle to shoot. But on the topic of adjusting and playing up to physicality, Israel has some of those examples on the women's side helping out. Having broadcast the Women's World Lacrosse Championship and seeing Israel 5 times. And imagine the value for younger players and the homegrown players for Israel when they have opportunities to practice against a Megan Lerner, terrific defender from Stanford. Who is a physical defender that plays at the Pool A level. And that is a shortcut to getting better facing her daily. Sam Mottershead pulled it out ahead. And same for defenders, power players like Rachel Rosen, who's played at Penn State from Long Island, plays for the Sixes team of Israel. Offsides against England. So they're over 30 shots. Allen making a save low against the pole, Wells. England out to the races. Into the stick of Goodwin, trying to shovel it off. Israel will face the loser of our final game of the day here on ESPN Plus. Puerto Rico and Germany. That'll be a 7 o'clock local time start. Israel will play again tomorrow night. And a loose ball push against Itai Habaro of Israel. Loveland, trail check. So for England, this will be a satisfying win. And then how much better can they flip the script from last Wednesday's loss against the Haudenosaunee and continue to build a lacrosse culture themselves that's been established for over 100 years. England has had lacrosse for a very long time, but it just hasn't perhaps had the same kind of traction the way it does now as we get a timeout called by England. But the signs are there. Ryan Garnsworthy and just the people even around the team talk about we've got to get more games streamed. Well, more games on TV, more media attention to England lacrosse. How about Tom Whitehead here on this clear? That was Kraft losing his stick head in the process of the check. And Whitehead wanted to lower the boom there. And he composed himself and got it to an attackman. But in that bigger picture, just in the last week, as England continues to try to spread the word, Will Shirt, Lucas Shurenk appearing on the first and, to my knowledge, only English lacrosse podcast, At the Face podcast, hosted by Joe Burnett there in England. They are doing everything they can to get people to at least consider the sport at a young age and reach out to parents and show them that there are other things going on besides soccer and the other sports that take place. Rugby, basketball, certainly in the English Professional Basketball League has grown. There's room for it. We see that in the United States that has so many sports, and yet it is overflowing with sports. And Shurenk and Shirt talking about how they realize that They're ambassadors for the game, and they will continue to spread the message even as their careers are done and give back. And that is significant, as I've touched on earlier broadcast. Drew and Elliot Bickerton, perhaps they are the first ever third-generation lacrosse players in England. How about that? Think about how many third-generation lacrosse players exist in the US and Canada. Lucas Shurik, speaking of him, well, here's a very late timeout called by England. That takes a shot away from Lucas Shurik. So they will have to give him a hug, and perhaps they'll practice short situations here. So Vince Cara gives him not a bear hug, a love tap, make sure that he's all right. 12.6 seconds left. And England will be able to throw it in and work on something here. England broke this game open in the second quarter, but it was still within reach for Israel at 4-1. And for Israel, this will be 12 goals scored in 4 games. So it'll be another day for Israel to focus on how to attack defenses. And should it be either Puerto Rico or Germany tomorrow night for the Israelis, both have physical defenses. It will be tasked to try to execute against a similar style. Peel, one more look. And Peel was that close to his first career hat trick in an international tournament. Well, maybe not. Peel again. Save made by Friedman. Hugo Peel, 2 goals in that second quarter was significant as England pulls away and has its first win at the Under-21 World Lacrosse Championship. They're now 1-4 overall, and England will advance in what is a 5 versus 4 seed matchup tomorrow in the quarterfinals against the Haudenosaunee. Let's show you how they did it. Hugo Peel, a game that he's not going to forget. That was his second goal. Daniel Hilditch totaling 3 today. And Hilditch with the assist. Edward Loveland's first 2 goals of the tournament. And for Israel, this was a nice finish inside. Joey Kraft feeding Bar David. That was the look to Bar David after the Barnoy man-up goal in the first quarter. So updated brackets, and it will be Haudenosaunee and England meeting for the second time in the tournament tomorrow in the 3rd game of the quarterfinals on Wednesday, 4 o'clock local time in Ireland. For our entire crew, our director, Mikey O'Sullivan, my name is Ralph Bednarczyk. Thank you for being here with us for the Men's Under-21 World Lacrosse Championship. One more game left to go on this first day of the medal round. Puerto Rico and Germany coming up, and we'll talk to you then.